Hello, everybody. Gonna get started soon. There's Mike Minotti.
Hi.
It's right there. And I'm here. And Christian is all around us.
I'm technically below Mike, but I'll just say I'm Mike.
Actually, I mean, if you think about it three-dimensionally, because you are maybe
I'm
on
in
a part of the
front of
Earth that is
everybody.
bulging out more than ours, you're kind of above us. If you think about, like, gravitational well, that, you know, the nearest one to us, you're
Yeah.
further above that than we are.
I'm more of a idea than a person.
That's what I was trying to get at, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's this, there's that, there's this. Let's get that set up.
Is this gonna ding us?
This is public domain at this point. Mozart dead as fucking for a very long time.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I'm positive that this is public
Have
domain.
you seen the body?
Okay, but I'm not positive that he's dead. You're right. Yeah, that's good, that's good. All right.
This performance might not be public domain. We don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, yeah, but usually you get clapped by the corporate owner of the melody, which is what happened with the
Yeah.
Back to the Future theme on the last episode.
Yep.
All right.
We got ding on your Grubb Fandango video that I uploaded.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was. Or that was what it was. Maybe I was thinking of that.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna cut it out, and then you talk over it, and I was like, oh. Well.
Yeah, okay. Well, fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let me test this.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start
Yeah,
cheering now! I hear it.
Mike has not said a word. Yeah.
Sorry,
He's on gaming mode.
I'm a game. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna.
He's a
skeet.
gamiac.
Maniac on the floor.
All right. I'm ready,
I am
Mike. If you're ready.
1 second. I'm gonna skeet. I won't let Jeff skip 2 podcasts in one day. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Where's the skeet button? Oh, there it is. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. All right. There's that. There's this. There's this. Okay.
All right.
Are we ready?
Ready.
I was born ready, baby.
That's a good super chat. Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah. Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb and I am a Nintendog.
We are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, Nintendo Switch 2 upgrades. BlizzCon is back. And I'm not going to let Jeff Grubb skip 2 podcasts in one day.
That's right. I'm
speaking
here.
Of which, there he is. How you feeling, buddy?
Much better. Yeah, it was. I just couldn't get out of bed today. Really, is what I did get out of bed, take the kids to school, and about like at the point where I was furthest away from home was when my butt was most wanting to go to the potty, which is never good. But I made it back home. Did not shit myself. Thank you very much for asking. But I'm like, all right, well, I'll deal with that when I get home. And then I just crawled back in bed. I'm like, okay, let's see. Can I like get up and like put the news together and see how I feel? And I did that. And I was like, oh no, I have to just finish this and go get back in bed because I was just achy and tired. And I think it's just from not having any energy going in and all the energy going out. So I slept all day. I basically slept all day after sleeping all night. I slept really well last night. So kind of doubling up on 2 nights of sleep in one 24-hour period, that felt like the right move. And I'm feeling much better now. And it's yeah, there was all kinds of stuff going on, and most of it has ceased to be happening to my body now, and I'm very excited about that.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you are feeling better. We had a good time on the Bombcast without you, but we missed you. Backlar was very impressed with how I did the news, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. I didn't listen. I started listening, then I fell asleep, and I'm like, I need to turn these chucklefucks off so I can actually get some real rest. Yeah,
lots of praise. He loves me.
Yeah, he loves you, and I'm glad. I always do like it when you and Backlar get to hang out on a podcast. It is actually a very good duo.
I do like Backlar.
Yep.
Backlar's a funny guy. I find Backlar very, very. I find Backlar very funny in the ways he intends to be funny. I'm not laughing at him like a clown.
No,
I'm like Backlar is underrated in his funniness. If you ask me, it's a funny fellow.
And I could translate that. He signs Mike's checks, everybody. So there.
Apparently not anymore. You told me, right? Someone else does now.
He might still sign your checks. I have a different boss. That's all.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for Last of the Nintendogs. I see a bunch of super chats have come in. Thank you so much. We will read all of those during the show. You can also support us at patreon.com/GameMess or by subscribing to my Twitch or Jeff's Twitch, twitch.tv/Tokoto, twitch.tv/JeffGrubb. All of that, the Patreon, the Twitch stuff gets you access to special Discord channels and fun things like Columbros. We got to record a new one of those pretty soon.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I should watch that here. Yeah.
Long-awaited, I almost said Leonard Nimoy episode. So,
I would love to see a Leonard Maltin episode.
Yeah, that'd be great. And other fun stuff. I got to play Doom Eternal here soon for the Game Mess Game Club. I'm hoping so. I bought that one computer like a couple months ago. It feels like it was just on back order forever. A different one showed up on Best Buy that was similar. It's actually had like some, I guess, better. I hesitate to say better because the number's bigger, but I'm sure somebody's gonna tell me how it's not better. But
what's the different number? I can't remember the comparison.
I don't know. It's also the CPU is by not Intel because people don't like Intel.
No, you want AMD.
Yeah. Oh, there, Fire remembers AMD Ryzen 9 9900X.
Oh, it's very good. That's very good. Yeah.
32 gigabytes of RAM.
The other one wasn't a 3D, right? It wasn't like the 9700X 3D because that's pretty good for gaming too. But yeah, you're fine.
It might have been that. I don't know. But look, I just want a new computer, and that other one wasn't getting shipped, and this one looked good. And I think they actually said it would come to me like this month. So I got that. Then hopefully I could play some Doom Eternal. I could play Monster Hunter. No, Rise was the last one. Wilds, and not have it look like ass. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I was like, this game seems to run fine. And I was apparently the only person on Earth that felt that way because of my computer. So yeah, it's going to run good for you.
All right, Jeff, you want to talk about some Nintendo news? I got to be honest, not a lot this week, but there's some other things tangentially related to Nintendo.
What do you mean? It was Mario Day. They must have gone all out.
Yeah, they went. I mean, look, the highlight of Mario Day was definitely on Friday when we got Mario's Picross and Donkey Kong 94 on NSO. I'm going to call it the greatest single drop in NSO history. Yeah. Because I've just been playing those like crazy.
What's the point of fact checking? Those games are so good that I'm probably with you on that.
But we did get some perhaps Switch 2 upgrades revealed by the FCC. This is according to Andy Robinson at VGC. FCC, VGC, so many blah blah C's. The filings reveal that Switch 2 will, like its predecessor, support NFC via its right Joy-Con controller, likely confirming support for Amiibo figures when playing original Switch games in Switch 2 software. Switch 2 users will also be able to charge the console using either its bottom USB-C port or the new second USB port, which is located on the top of the device. According to the filings, which were spotted by The Verge, Switch 2 will also support Wi-Fi 6 networks with up to 80 megahertz of bandwidth, up from the original Switch console's pathetic, I editorialized that, pathetic Wi-Fi 5. Okay, so Wi-Fi 6, that's a higher number than Wi-Fi 5. I know that the Steam Deck is still even better than Wi-Fi 6. It's like Wi-Fi 6E or something.
The Steam Deck OLED is Wi-Fi 6E, which has support for 6 gigahertz, which is less populated, which is nice, but it also it's faster. It just is better, in my opinion, when you have a good signal. But it was very unlikely Nintendo would use that because, one, it is more expensive. That's the main reason. And two, Let's say you get that thing set up and some kind of new user is like, all right, I'm going to use the biggest number here. I do have a Wi-Fi 6E apparently that supports 6 gigahertz. I guess I'll just sign up to that. And then they try to walk around their house and it's just going to not work as well as they want it to because they didn't set up the 5 gigahertz connection, which actually can penetrate walls. So I think Nintendo is just trying to be as broadly appealing here while also happily saving money. I wish it had 6 gigahertz, but whatever, it doesn't. Wi-Fi 6 is plenty fast. You're going to be able to get a ton of really fast bandwidth downloads through that, and some of the other benefits of Wi-Fi 6E really just kind of don't apply to the Switch. So this is fine.
And then the NFC support for the Joy-Cons. Of course, that's how the Amiibo figures talked to Nintendo consoles in the past. Now, do you think this is just about making sure backwards compatibility is good? Are we going to see some more exciting NFC things? Are we going to get more Joy-Cons, more Amiibos, which have really slowed down? The last one, I think, was the Sora one, and that almost seemed like an obligation because they kind of made a point of every Smash Brothers character does get an Amiibo, but otherwise, that whole business has slowed down a lot.
Yeah, I always try to think about Nintendo's weird gimmicks built into its systems and like which ones are on the bubble, which ones make it from one iteration to the next. Like the IR blaster on the Game Boy Color, right? Yeah. That didn't make it to the Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy Advance SP. And it's like, I like that thing, but I never used it. I just like the idea of it. This seems like the kind of thing where enough people use it that they probably felt compelled to continue to build it into the Switch, and they're like, well, if it's there, maybe we'll use it for something else. But I don't think they have some grand plans for the NFC thing beyond supporting the existing Amiibo and maybe for a handful more Amiibo going down the line. There's a lot of games on the Switch that have, hey, tap an Amiibo on here to zap some free stuff into your game. And they probably don't want like so many of those games having caveats like on the eShop on Switch 2 being like, this doesn't support all the features. That's a scary thing. Right. So they're already going to have that with, Labo is not going to fit in with the new Joy-Con shape in the old Labo format. So there's a handful of games that are going to have that kind of warning. They don't want that for something as ubiquitous as Amiibo.
Right. Echoes of Wisdom did have Amiibo support, but I don't think it had like a new Zelda Amiibo, right? And it's again, it was that half-hearted kind of tap an Amiibo and I don't know, get some items, get 5 pieces of chili cactus. Yep.
Something we just I don't think about a lot personally. I don't have a ton of Amiibo. Never cared to get a lot of Amiibo. It was never my thing. So for me, it's like it might as well not exist. But for Nintendo selling games, they probably do think about that.
See, I like the Amiibo, but I like them as the little collectible figurines.
Sure.
They very rarely made the actual interaction either interesting or sometimes just bad. Like, no, I don't want to use my Amiibo in Breath of the Wild to cheat.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Like, no, I don't really want to do that. It was great, like in Mario Maker 1 on the Wii U, when it was like, use your Mega Man Amiibo, and now your Mario looks like Mega Man or something like that. Or, like, God, maybe I'm making that up, but there's something like that.
In Mario Maker 2, there was something like that. Is that what you're talking about? I'm sorry.
I think Mario Maker 1, because the Wii U was the first one with Amiibo support, right?
Yeah, one of them definitely had it. I want to be like
3DS had Amiibo support.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely the kind of thing where, this just reminds me how we used to have cheats in video games that did this stuff. And so it a lot of times it would just bum me out. It's like, this used to just be free cheats. Now I have to go buy a toy.
You'll be happy to know chat said I'm right and you were wrong. Yeah, it was Mario 1 had the costumes you got from the Amiibo.
I'm as excited to hear that as ever.
I love that. I was excited about it. But yeah, so I think you're right. I think this is mostly about backward compatibility and less about them being excited to do new and interesting things with NFC connections. But there's still some small things. I mean, the freaking power-up bands from the Super Nintendo World theme parks still use that technology, right?
So, yeah. I mean, NFC is a standard now.
It's cheap.
Yeah, it's right? Exactly. It's in so much stuff. I mean, it's in every phone, so it's cheap. Like that's how things work these days. If it's in every iPhone, 5 years later, it's going to be cheap. It's been in iPhones for longer than 5 years now. So yeah, that stuff is like a penny per unit, something along those lines. So I think it just makes sense. And I'm sure they are like, we might sell more Amiibo. We are going to do something with Smash Brothers. And, that's what we made a lot of money from selling Smash Brothers, but the Amiibo really did make us quite a bit. And we like to have, it doesn't hurt to have two aisles at the store with Nintendo stuff, right? There are Nintendo stuff over here where the video games are, and then you go over like another toy aisle right next to it that also has Nintendo figures at Target. Like, they like that sort of thing. So I think that's something they're okay with.
Making and selling Sora Amiibo had to make the money.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
For sure. Yeah.
Was it enough money that they care? Because who knows? But it had to be a profitable business.
Yes.
BlizzCon's back. Blizzard Entertainment announced that BlizzCon, the ultimate celebration of Blizzard's communities, is returning to the Anaheim Convention Center on Saturday, September 12th, and Sunday, September 13th, 2026. Wait a second. Was that right? 2026? Was it 2026 this entire time I've been doing this thing? I read this story on 2026. God, I read this story on
but not this
Bombcast, and the 2026 part went right over my head.
Hey, I get it. Trust me. I read the news on a couple of shows. It happens.
I said to it, I didn't report incorrectly.
Right.
I just didn't process what I read. Why are they telling us now? 2026. Okay, whatever.
I mean, it's fine. Probably what they're doing is, well, there's not one this year, but please don't yell at us. Like, right? Like, that's what this is?
There hasn't been one since 2023. They just do it very sporadically now.
Well, yeah, but that means, so there wasn't one last year, and there wasn't one, so there's not going to be one this year, but there will be one next year is kind of what they're saying.
Right. I mean, but the thing is, like, well, why even do it sometimes? And I guess what I assume is because they think they're going to have things to talk about, some especially exciting things. Now, I mean,
every 3 years for BlizzCon doesn't sound like a crazy thing to me.
Yeah, it used to be every year. And
no, I know, I get it, but like, it's a different world.
It is a different world. You're right. It's too bad though, because BlizzCon is super fun. I went to a few of those and they were great. But
is QuakeCon still every year?
What's that?
Is QuakeCon still every year?
I think so.
Because it's a LAN party though at a certain point.
I mean, it wasn't just like, of course there were announcements that happened, but it was also actually a fan convention that was, good for the community and whatnot. But I don't know if people care about that sort of thing so much anymore. But I assume then when they do this first BlizzCon in, 4 years or whatever it's going to be at that point, they're going to have something big to announce. When it was this year, Jeff, I was going to say maybe they're going to announce Diablo 4 for Switch 2. I bet that gets announced before we get to September 2026. I don't know.
You might be onto something there, yeah.
For that. Yeah, I don't know why we would wait for.
Honestly,
no reason for Diablo 2 to not be on Switch 2 as soon as possible.
Yeah, I would be surprised, kinda, if it wasn't a launch game.
Yeah. Like, why the hell not?
I mean, Diablo 3 was almost like it was a first year game at least, right?
It's early-ish. I forget if it was first year, but it was pretty early. That game worked really well on Switch 1 and sold really well on Switch 1. I mean, God, Overwatch is on Switch 1, right? Yeah. You have to imagine there's going to be some kind of upgrade for Switch 2 with Overwatch 2. But I bet when they do this BlizzCon 2026, they'll have something big to announce, like a new StarCraft or maybe new IP, something new and flashy, and not just, here's a new hero in Overwatch, and here's some more details about a World of Warcraft expansion.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there are some games I think are just in that sweet spot of, TennoCon can happen every year for, God, what is that called? What's Tenno?
Warframe.
Yeah, Warframe. Yeah, like Warframe's like the right size where it's like, yeah, we can have this community out there, and like they feel really brought together, and we're supporting this game. We'll do that every year. Somehow BlizzCon just feels like it does need to justify itself with big announcements because it's so massive and bringing so many people out. You want to kind of give them something at a certain point. So it's weird how things could kind of work backward that way, where it's like you think if it's big enough, you just do it every year and let everyone come party. But it's like, if we're doing this whole hubbubaloo, maybe we want to have some stuff to show off.
Plus, Microsoft owns them now, and God knows they don't have any money to help put on some kind of event.
Yeah, that's true. They're scraping by. And to be fair, it would be them doing QuakeCon and BlizzCon. That's the same company now. So it's like, God, they have multiple conventions for different games. I would never want them to combine it, but I bet that's like a little bit of a headache because I bet that goes kind of up the chain now and causes headaches.
Moon Studios boss Thomas Mailer reveals that the Ori series has passed the milestone of 15 million copies sold since the first game, Ori and the Blind Forest, premiered in 2015. Jeff, I'm conflicted about this because I love these games, and 15 million copies, that's a lot for these, right? That
would be the best-selling Metroidvania, 2D Metroidvania ever, right?
Well, it would be 2 games, right? So
okay, 2 games.
It's the series.
Sure, but 7.5 million would still be.
Again, Metroid Dread sold like 3 million copies, which now it has to be thinking like, man, either sales have helped this game a lot, or Thomas Mailer, who has said some strange and maybe untrue things before, is conflating this with total players because of things like Game Pass.
Game Pass, or like, it's included in Games for Gold at some point, and people claim that. Like, yeah, I don't know. I want to believe. I would love for these games to have sold 15 million, despite Thomas Mailer's whole shtick. Which, I mean, he's a weird guy. He really is. Everybody.
Yeah. I was looking at his Twitter right just like before the story to see if he was still weird, and he had a long tweet about how messaging apps like Discord need to get rid of instant messaging and chat because it's bad for businesses, because text chatting is not as good as video chat. You see, he's one of those guys, right? The camera's on, everybody, let's be engaged. Right? And I mean, it's insane because Moon Studios' whole thing is that it has always been remote working. Right?
Do you think, like, while he's remote working all day, they're all in like a video chat with him or something like that?
I think that's what he would like. Now, the turnover at Moon Studios has always been, super high because people can't stand working for Thomas Mailer, and
he's a weird guy. Yep,
he's a weird guy. Ori 1 and 2, fantastic games though. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I imagine maybe in spite of him.
Yes. I mean, listen, I don't know. There's weirdos creating stuff that of value all the time, but maybe in spite of some of those aspects for sure. He was talking because they have, what is the name of their game? We Shall Eat the Dead or something like that. I can't remember.
It has a very generic name. No Rest for the Wicked.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah, which is in early access still.
Is that one of these many like Hades likes?
It's a bit. It's leaning much more so into the Dark Souls style, though.
Okay.
It's basically Dark Souls as a top-down action RPG. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. That clicked in place for me. I remember that now.
That's what's going on there. He also claimed, I think, like I didn't know this until I saw this story a couple months ago. He claimed that like Microsoft reached out to him about maybe doing Ori 3 again. I don't know if that's true. I think I saw that. I don't know. I'm about to look into that more, but that would be weird just because no spoilers or anything, but. Ori 2 wrapped things up pretty well, and even I, as somebody who loves Ori, is like, I think we can let that one rest, everybody.
Yep.
We did it. Ori's great.
Yeah, you done made the good game.
All right, Jeff, last thing here. Super Mario Bros. 3 added to Nintendo Music.
Happy Martin Day!
Yeah, that was a Mario Day thing, so hey, of course. Good soundtrack. Probably, is it my least favorite of the NES ones? I don't know. Its athletic theme is not the one that I go to first when I'm thinking about Mario, right?
Yes, true. But I mean, God, it's very good.
Yeah, it's very, very, very good. So, I am absolutely happy.
Did you watch any of the Mario Day content on the website Giant Bomb?
I had to go to it. I was day drinking at a brewery for Mario Day with my brothers and a friend. It was a great time.
He's not joking.
A special mug, but yes, they had a band, Jeff, and they played all these great songs. And then at one point, they were like, "All right, this is like a very obscure song. If anyone can guess what it is, you get a $25 gift card." And within 5 seconds, Jeff, I was like, "Oh, that's Silent Hill 2."
Did you say it just like that too? That's Silent Hill 2.
Basically, yeah. Like, I was bored. Yeah, you know me. Yeah. I was like, theme of Laura, obviously. So,
duh.
Yeah, you know how proud I get of myself. They did not play Super Bell Hill, unfortunately.
Oh, horseshit.
Yeah, but no, that was a fun way to spend it.
Did you see Jelly Mario?
I saw a little bit of Jelly Mario. Yes,
Jelly Mario was pretty impressive. Dan's roulette thing, kind of randomly going through games. That was also very fun. Very fun moments of him like being in the middle of a jump. It changed from one game to the next, and him immediately screwing up the thing he had just like left off in like Mario 64 or whatever. It was a good time.
I gotta watch that. I'll catch up on all of that. But right now, Jeff, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and read all these nice super chats we got from the nice people.
Yeah, we got plenty to talk about. Looking forward to it.
Break.
All right. I'm ready to go.
Yep, me too.
All right.
All right, we're back. Jeff, would you read the super chats, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get right into it with Radu Pericol Taganas, who says, sad I missed Grubb Fandango twice. Let my boy Grubb down. So here's some money. The only cure for sadness. Save often, kids. Your pal Octo. Penny is.
Penny is. Well, looks like you must have done all right. I don't know if you're getting help elsewhere because you finished all of Act 3 in one playthrough.
What I'm doing is I have a walkthrough kind of open behind the thing, and I'm able to like glance at some keywords while I'm doing it. I'm not trying to like read exactly what to do. I just want to be pointed in mostly the right direction. I don't want to be lost for a very long period of time. Like that's not how I want to play this game. I imagine the majority of people did not want to feel lost for hours at a time. So if I feel that way, I'm like, let me just go glance at this. I glance at it. It points me in the right direction. And then I go and figure it out. Once I know what I'm supposed to be interacting with, I usually figure it out. Now, I did do one sequence break, Mike. I don't know if you heard about this.
It is sequence break. I got to watch. What did you sequence break?
It's not much. I just, I'm dragging around the axe, the battle axe. And
that thing.
You're supposed to do a whole puzzle in there, but the place I set it down to begin that puzzle was the right spot. So it just immediately broke through and I didn't have to do anything in that room.
That's not sequence. That's just good luck. That happens sometimes.
People in chat were calling it sequence break. I'm like, yeah, this just felt like they knew that this was maybe possible.
Did you legitimately figure out the anchor puzzle in the beginning where you have to cut the ship apart? Because I'm just kind of like, I'm just going to fuss with this and eventually it kind of happens.
I was mostly just fussing with it. Yeah. I glanced at it. It was like, I'm like, I'm doing the thing it's saying in this thing, so I'm just going to go back and keep fussing with it. Yeah, that one I was not expecting that to be the solution, to just rip the ship in half.
I know I haven't been able to watch live. I really want to watch finale live, but if you do it this weekend, I won't be able to. But
I'm trying to think this weekend if I have anything going on. Yeah, I probably will be doing it this weekend. We'll see.
All right,
I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. I'll
get this next one. More. Yeah, Allie Miracle says I found a bunch of amiibos in a box. Next smut and smut related items. Lost lots of dust, or maybe next to smut and smut related items. Lots of dust. Forgot they existed. Found smut though. Hey, I'm happy for you. Congratulations.
Speaking of smut, my issue of Maxim magazine with the Halo of Chips quote came in. So I
really?
Own that.
That's fun. I'm glad you have that.
There's something. What's the word? Lurid's not the word.
Lurid. Yeah.
Lurid. There's something lurid about like, I own a Maxim magazine from like 2003.
Right. Like you can keep it on your coffee table because you're like, people are like, why do you have that? And then you could be like, well, here's why. But
it's an interesting story.
Yeah, I get what you mean for sure.
Right. And it's just like, like everything on the front. And it's like, here's why your girl's cheating on you. And here's why sex is better with, tobacco muscles or something.
Rub Pop Rocks on it,
right. Everything is like that. It's like, man, this really is just the sex and explosions era.
Yep, that was the 2000s. Screaming Madden said, today I beat Link to the Past, and boy, that lived up to the hype of being one of the best SNES games. Also, I need to catch up on Grubb Fandango too, so I apologize for not being able to watch live. Yeah, no problem. It's been a lot of fun. People seem into this game, Mike. I'm really enjoying it. That third act, year 3 all in one go was gave me a lot of momentum. I'm ready to beat this game.
A lot of exciting stuff, and Act 4 is the last one now, so time for the finale. Do you think this is gonna like jumpstart you to play more adventure games, or a bit of a one-off unless a special occasion comes up again?
No, I would like to play more. There's definitely I would like to play Fate of Atlantis for real for once, and then maybe work my way back up like through LucasArts at that point. That would be fun. Let's see, Simon.
You should make actual content of it. Damn it! I should be there while you play these adventure games. I could gently guide you if need be. It'd be fun.
There's always Grubb's gimmicks to fit some of these in here once in a while. Yeah, I would like to do some more.
Monkey Island 1 would be so easy to do. That's not that long game. I know pretty much all the puzzles. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a good time. EP Idiot Box says, I found $2 and then gave us $2. So thank you.
Aw, I wanted a peanut.
Simon from Saskatchewan.
Get by many peanuts. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Simon from Saskatchewan said, would Final Fantasy 13 get remastered like Final Fantasy 10 and 12?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before we get a Final Fantasy 13 remastered compilation of some kind. Yeah, they'll get to that eventually.
The general feeling about this game is turning around.
It's definitely turning around.
It's getting justice because that's a good video game. God damn it!
And I think that the time that we're talking about is very close. I think in terms of people wanting this, and it could / would. Yeah, I think we're almost there.
Oh, Mike and Jeff's excellent adventure for you playing adventure games. That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Good Gen 1 game.
Okay.
That's good.
You know, if we did do that, I would like to do what is it? Adventures of the Mountain King. What's the first adventure game?
Colossal Cave Adventure.
Yeah, Colossal Cave Adventure. Yeah, I would like to play that. At some point.
That'd be fun. Just us both trying to figure out this text-based adventure game.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be fun.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Let's see. Simon from Saskatchewan says, talk of Fester's Quest made me remember something. My rental store charged me an extra $1 for manuals, but some games had guides. Fester's Quest had one.
I wonder why I needed one. It's a big mystery.
I think, honestly, we're talking, I don't think he's here. Of all the games that are going to need manuals, it's Dan's game. Not as much yours. Yours you can figure out while playing. Like, it'll be easier if you had a thing to be like, that's why this was happening.
I have the manual.
Right, yeah, you're going to be able to use it once we start playing the game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also, enjoying the excitement building that people know the game, but they still have something to look forward to of seeing your costume, even though we can picture it pretty well.
Yeah, I think we all have a good idea of what I'm going to look like as Uncle. I am going to I'm not going to shave my beard off, Jeff. I'm going to trim it down pretty low so that I can get the makeup on easily. I'll do that after this. I don't have to do it tomorrow morning.
Did you get the NES working?
Okay, so yes, I spent basically all evening and a good amount of the weekend working on this. Even bought a second NES, which I didn't need to do. I'm going to return that one. First I couldn't get anything. Then I got something, and there was a crackling sound because it's going through my retro tank. So all this stuff, I couldn't figure it out. And then just a little bit ago, I had special settings for the NES that I was told were good, and I set it back to default, and that got rid of the crackling. So the upsetting thing, Jeff, is very few games are working in this thing. I can't get most of these games to work, and when I do it, to really jiggle them around a lot like crazy.
And Guess
which game is working pretty well?
Fester's Quest?
Yep, Fester's Quest is good to go, apparently. That one, easiest one to get working for some reason.
Because God loves me. I've always said this.
Yeah. Hooray.
That's incredible.
I will say, my takeaway from this, everybody. Look, I love collecting old video games and old hardware. Don't worry too much about getting an old NES. No, it's a pain in the ass.
The top loader, if you have a top loader, take care of that.
Those are hard to get now.
Yes, take care of it.
I know I have a top loader somewhere. If I could have found that. But these carts, it's just very finicky. And hey, NES emulation, pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Right? What you really want is just to be able to use one of these controllers. So get some kind of controller that works in the computer, and that's the NES experience. You don't need to mess around with the weird only 2 AV cable situation and then figure out how to get it going as mono without it only being in one channel and, freaking OBS like I did.
Yep. And then, emulation is in some ways even better than original hardware now because you got that run ahead. So you have the instant feedback and stuff like that.
Yeah. You
very,
got
very,
options.
very good.
Got options.
All right. Let's see. Where were we at? I lost my place. I'm scrolling up. I did not read that one. Okay. Here we are. No, there's multiple Simons.
Okay. Should be from Postman Dan.
Yep. Postman Dan said, been listening to an audiobook about cryptids. Turns out the Jersey Devil might have possibly been a New Jersey woman's 13th child. I'm so proud of our state. Mike, when it comes to cryptids, I know Bigfoot and I know Mothman because I'm kind of near West Virginia every once in a while.
Right.
I did not know that Jersey. I know about Jersey Devil because of the video game,
right?
And because
of course.
The New Jersey Devils, but I did not realize that is referencing some cryptid that might have been popular in the newspaper back then.
There's something about that. I don't know too much about it.
Yeah.
I always found the Nessie cryptid upsetting because I'm like, that's just one lake. Just figure out if something's in there or not.
Just go look. Yeah.
Just go form a search party, everybody. Make a grid pattern and see if there's a Nessie in there.
Can't take that long. Whiskey Samurai says, Grubb saved me from Googling Matlin Ward on my work computer last week. Here's some money. Hi, Mikey. Also, you're welcome.
Hello.
I Googled that and I'm like, I can't be talking about this person. These are all pornography results. And then, Jan confirmed. Yep. All right. The Uncharted Wolf said, couldn't watch live, but holy crap, guys, do you just hate the 360/PS3 generation? That was the worst list I've ever seen. Can't wait for the next one. No, we like all those games that we put on the list. I don't know. What's the point?
Yeah. I posit, Jeff, that the 360 generation just has so many games.
Yes.
No, so, a lot of people aren't going to be happy with anybody's list. Now, look. There may be some things on ours that specifically triggered people, especially the number 1 and number 25 placement.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Are you with me? Are you with me that it is wild how many people claim that they hate Mirror's Edge or that it's a bad game?
I think
we know bad games. Come on.
I think I would like to go further and be toxic, Mike. Is that okay?
Go ahead. Be toxic.
I think some people just play that game wrong. I think that they played it wrong, and they're like, "I got a gun, time to shoot," and it's like, "Oh, you did not know what you were playing." Like, I think it's that.
I know some people play wrong because one of the people who was yelling at me on Blue Sky about how it was a bad game was complaining about the gunplay.
Yeah.
So, yes,
So, why were you using the guns?
I mean, look, I'm glad you just said that the people who hate the game are bad at it.
Yeah.
I agree. But, I don't want to be toxic.
Yep. Oh well. I still really like our list. I get that it was gonna. We knew when we finished what was happening.
We knew what we were doing.
Yep. Okay. I think.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep trying to do it.
No, hey,
I was already doing your job earlier.
Yeah,
today,
you read the news.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Simon from Saskatchewan is back. It says 2. Had to look it up, but it was called Sunsoft Gaming News. Shows how important gaming mags and guides were. I feel old now being nostalgic for them. Yeah, it was like there was like Sunsoft Gaming Times News or something as well. And there's a little coupon. I think Dan posted it on a Blue Sky tonight, where you can like send in this little coupon from a magazine, and they would send you the little guide for this game. So yeah, and again, the guide is only going to help so much. It really does just play it and you'll figure it out for the most part. L. Grug says, because of Mike, I booted up the Saturn and True Doubt Virtual Highlight. And it's somehow worse than the NES Highlight. Also, 3.5 hours on how long to beat.
Yeah, but don't worry. It'll take Jeff and or Dan much longer than that to beat.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a tough one for us on Blight Club. Because I feel like at some point we have to do all of the Angry Video Game Nerd stuff. Like, that's where I have been told that people really know this game from. And so it's like, it's widely considered to be a bad game now because of AVGN. But I do think you might end up liking it. I think
I might.
I think if we made Dan play it, the show would become a disaster, and we wouldn't be able to we would never have a Blight Club again. So I do fear that I'm going to end up playing this game.
I think it's likely going to be you, right? Because sometimes it can go so wrong with Dan. Remember when we thought we had a good thing going with Connectivity Compadres?
Yeah, we did.
We did those 2 episodes. We got all that fan art and everything. Dan kind of got bored.
Yeah,
and tanked it. So you can we got a good thing with Blight Club right now, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We could make Dan play Virtual Highlight, and it could all go bad.
It could Dan would be like, well, I don't want to do this. How do I get out of it? And he'll be like, I'll just kill Blake. He could do that.
Yeah, I'll just ruin it for everybody. Yeah.
He's a monster. He will absolutely take his ball and go home. So we have to be careful.
Uh-huh. And he'd be like, well, you shouldn't give me an RPG. It's like, okay, all right, whatever.
Exactly. That's what I say. What if RPGs are real video games for cool guys? Oh, God. Oh, no.
I've only looked. I did consider giving you Virtual Highlight a couple times, and it's like,
right.
It's kind of interesting looking, but I think I would hate it.
I think you would hate it for sure. I think you're right. I think I would get some sick pleasure out of it. You know me, I love pre-rendered shit. Pre-render something. I mean, even in Mortal Kombat Mythologies, I'm like, well, at least these characters are pre-rendered.
Yeah. I'd like looking at that game. That's fair. Darachi says, happy 10th anniversary to the Japanese release of Yakuza 0. Hope it comes to Switch so I can buy that masterpiece a 5th time. Yeah, I mean, they keep putting more on the Switch, and Switch 2 is coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if they just put the rest on Switch 2.
Yeah, I hope so.
Chuktowski says, hey, you guys want to get high and play Star Wars Galaxies? I do. Absolutely.
Man, the one time I really did play Star Wars Galaxies, it was fun. Like, me and AJ, we made our characters, and we were like, we don't have to fight people. That's the whole promise here. I think I was a female Twi'lek dancer, Jeff. I think I was dancing at a cantina.
This sounds so awesome to me. It always sounded so awesome to me. I'm like, I might be a Wookiee hairdresser. That is probably what I would like to do.
And I think AJ was trying to be like a smuggler, and I think he got into a door or something. I don't know. And it was nonsense. And the game really barely had the systems to support all of this.
Right.
But there was something there. There was something to it.
Chuckowski was streaming Star Wars Galaxies this past Saturday. So when I was finished, or Sunday, whatever it was, when I finished streaming, we rated him, and he was having a good time, a very good time. It looked very interesting. All right. A Higgs 13 says, "Hey dogs, hope you both are having a great week so far. Mike, I'll be going to Disney the first week of May. Can't wait to spend May the 4th drinking blue milk in Hollywood Studios." That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I actually I'm not super familiar with what special things they do for it. I think they usually have a fireworks show. I might be making that up, but I think they will do a special fireworks show for May 4th.
Sometime.
Look into that.
Yes, I'm getting pretty excited for Andor Season 2 over here, Mike. It's
right.
That's my business. Connell Wood says, "I'm now up to 90 Amiibo. No, you have a problem."
Yeah. I was never like, oh, I have to get every Amiibo. I was never that kind of person.
I'm surprised how many people are like that, though.
Yeah, there are quite a bit. Like even like Dan was like, "Oh, I hope they don't make more Amiibo because then I'll have to buy them all."
Yep.
I mean, I didn't say it, but I was thinking, Jeff, well, you don't have to do that.
No one's holding a gun to your head. Yeah, I think there's a couple he doesn't have.
Well, he didn't get Sora because he thinks that would be worse than death itself.
All right. I think we're here at Two Bear, who says Mario should get a big suit like David Byrne. I would like that.
Who's David Byrne?
He's the guy. What's your guess?
Guy from that song with the music video? The big suit? The guy with the big suit.
Yeah, the guy with the big suit in the music video. When the days go by on the underground. I don't know lyrics, everybody. I'm sorry. Big Fresh 37 says Joseph Ferris making a game where Mario and DK have to reluctantly team up to save a kidnapped Luigi and Diddy all throughout DK Jungle and Mushroom Kingdom. I like that.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Nikki Grayson from GiantBob.com.
Yell me.
There's no fucking way that Mike Minotti does not know who David Byrne is.
There's so many ways he doesn't know that.
What's the name of his band?
Crazy.
No, it's just David Byrne.
For $1 million, what is the name of David Byrne's band? I will take out every payday loan in this country.
Oh, that's right. His original band. Okay,
well,
yes.
I already was Googling it, and I did not know the Talking Heads.
You didn't know the Okay. Talking Heads, yeah.
All I know about this guy, and it's more of a mental image of the guy in the big suit. I remember that.
That's true. Okay.
I would not have been able to tell you his name.
Mike, this weekend, you got to get an IPA, and you got to sit down in front of the couch, and you got to you type in Stop Making Sense into your TV.
Yes.
And then rent it. It's going to be $4 or maybe $20. I don't know how much renting movies cost. And then you're going to watch it, and then you're going to report back to me on Monday. That's your homework.
You actually would enjoy this.
I'll take my call.
I may not be able to.
Thank you, Nikki.
I might be doing mysterious other things this weekend, and I can't do that. But maybe give me
this
extra
weekend. You piece of shit.
Came together fast. I'm a little bit like, this is kind of spontaneous for me to just go to Florida all of a sudden all weekend. We'll see how that goes.
Stop making sense at some. Hey, watch it on a plane if you happen to be on one. It's good. David Byrne is an excellent musician. All right, so let's see here. Where'd we leave off? I think we're at Jacob Hayner, who says, after Jeff talked about a short hike on the top 100 Switch games list, I got it, played it, and it tickled all of my gaming parts. I saw God. Peebness. It's very good.
That's the gaming part, the peebness.
Yeah. Tickle him on the peebness. This is the game that you offensively called a walking simulator, even though it's not an offensive term.
It's called a short hike. If anything should be a walking simulator, it's this game.
It's, I guess, hiking is just walking, isn't it? Shit.
It's just a walk. Yeah.
You do run and fly.
I bet it's a good game. I bet I would
fantastic.
like it.
Baba is me says, I've been playing Grim Fandango in sections and watching your streams, Jeff. Really enjoyable way to experience the game. So thank you for doing this. It would be neat if you could find time to do this more in the future. Well, thanks, Mike. He's the reason I'm doing this. He gave me my punishment. Yes, I think the idea will be kind of to carry this momentum forward and at least stream every one weekend morning, each weekend going forward. If I can be ideal if I could wake up and get going more or earlier than I have been, because it's nice if I could get this stuff done and out of the way before the rest of the household's like, okay, what are we doing today? Then I'm like, okay, I've already done my shit, so I could take care of everything else now. That's a good feeling. But I'll do my best to stay on top of that because I've been enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I'm glad you are. I'm glad other people are looking at Grim Fandango. That makes me happy. It really has been a very special game to me for a very, very long time. It's absolutely still my favorite story in a video game. Just some of the best characters in a video game. It is just watching you play it, Jeff. I'm like, man, this shit is still so impressive. It's wild for 1998.
Yep, it's. I think if I had played it back then, I think it would have become a huge part of my personality. It's just it really does strike a chord. Okay, so that was Baba's Me, and yeah, thanks again, Baba's Me. Brian Laley says, "Hey, dogs! I recently had the PAX East panel on drug use depictions in games accepted." That's the one that they submitted. While I'm very excited to have some great and more experienced panelists, I'm a bit nervous. Any tips?
Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations.
I mean, the big tip I have is you just go in there and like recognize the people that are going to be in that audience are there because they want to hear you talk about this thing. So just like lean into it, to like, be happy, like talk directly to them, and then imagine everyone naked so you're less nervous. I think that still works.
Yeah, I don't know if I disassociate is what I do, but I am pretty good at just kind of like not thinking about why I should be nervous. I just try to think about why I should be fun. I mean, the very specific thing I do to help with the nerves is like before the panels start, I just go out to all the people who are waiting to get in and just like I'm gonna warm up the crowd, which is an obnoxious thing to do. I just go out there like, how's it going, everybody? I pretend that I'm some weird 1920 showman or something, right? And I don't know. That's fun. You are seeing people and talking to them as a human, right?
The Greatest Showman. That was about you. So yeah,
that was me. Yeah. Less problematic than that guy, though, I think, in real life.
I haven't actually
Not
seen
the
it.
Hugh Jackman version. The Hugh Jackman version of P.T. Barnum is a saint. Okay. I meant the shoot one.
Yes, I was thinking of Hugh Jackman as well, because I'm like, the likeness, of course.
Right.
All right, so let's see here. Dr. Ryan says, happy 311 day. What's the color of your energy? Mike, do you get this joke?
What is 311 Day? I think this is not the first time I heard this.
It's a day celebrating the band 311.
There's a band named 311.
Yes. So what is the color of your energy, Mike Minotti?
Like a fuchsia.
It's actually closer than I was getting. It's amber. Amber is the color of your energy. 311 is a... What is it? Like a kind of post-ska rock band, everybody? Are they just ska? I don't think they have do they have like a horn section in every, I think they are not. But yeah, it's a rock band with, kind of a fusion of a bunch of different genres. And then they had Shaquille O'Neal in one of their music videos.
Oh, was it for the movie Shazam?
I don't think so. I think it was for the concept of basketball.
Nice too.
Yes, that 311 is just a kind of a popular band from the 90s mostly. All right, let's see here. Slow Burn Picture says, just wanted to say thanks for the Galloping Ghost recommendation from a previous show. My friend was in town over the weekend and it was so much fun. My personal fave was Tapster Budweiser edition. Is it called Tapster? Is that the name of the?
I think it's just Tapper, but that's fine.
Tapper. Yeah. Okay, yes. Actually playing the Shoot arcade Budweiser version of Tapper actually is a hoot. I like that.
That's a really fun game because it is just like, the controller is like a beer handle. Yep. So it actually is pretty satisfying to do that. Yeah, that was a great time we went there. God, that was some time ago now already, right? Probably a few years ago.
Yep. I would like to go back at some point. I like Chicago a whole bunch. It's a good city.
Chicago's great. Fantastic city.
I think Postman Dan is back. What's a fighting game move you like to imitate in real life?
I mean, I think I'd like to, it's obvious, but I'd like to shoot a Hadouken. I think it'd be fun if I could just shoot fireballs, right? I think a lot fewer people would mess with me if I could shoot a fireball at them potentially.
Yeah, I every once in a while, if I'm like my kids are attacking me, I'll kind of go up into a Sagat pose with like his leg up, like the Muay Thai pose or something like that, and I definitely imagine
tiger
myself.
knee.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, tiger knee. Yeah.
No SPD,
tiger uppercut.
I would love to SPD some motherfuckers.
Wait, what is it?
Spinning pile driver.
Oh, spinning pile driver. Yeah, well, I mean, how do you imitate that though? I guess I can imitate it with my kids a little bit in slow motion. That's a good time.
You break some necks. Like Mike said, Hadouken. How is that more?
Well, you could just you're imitating it, right? So you just do the, put your hands like this and just Hadouken. Yeah. No?
I don't think that was the question, but continue.
All right.
I would like to have Iron Man's proton cannon from Marvel vs. Capcom. I love him just summoning this cannon that's gigantic and it rests on his shoulder. I'm kind of pissed that they killed Iron Man off in the movie before he did a proton cannon, like from Marvel vs. Capcom. That would have been sweet.
Yeah, did he ever like get close to that? Like he's had some like powerful moves.
That'd be some instance where he like attached a large cannon to him, but I don't think it was ever as close to the size of the Marvel vs. Capcom proton cannon, because that thing was cool as hell.
If we're just talking about moves that we wish we had, I wish I had Cyrax's blow up the Earth thing, and just so we could just start over. You know?
Don't we all?
Yeah, just kind of get rid of this whole thing.
That was smoke, actually.
It was smoke? Okay, my bad. All right, Willow, they all look alike to me, Mike. Come on.
Wow!
Holy shit.
All the Lin Kuei cyber
Yeah, all Lin Kuei look alike.
Wow. I can't believe I'm the one who gets canceled around here.
Willow Davis says, 2 USB-Cs. What happens if I plug both of them in?
That's a DP.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's just move on. Brono Trigger says, my favorite game turned 30 today. What do you think the various projects beyond the game that Square has in store could be? This is referencing Chrono Trigger from Brono Trigger.
Yeah, I mean, various projects beyond the game. I mean, look, I just have such a hard time picturing what a new Chrono game is or looks like, right? I could picture another remaster or something of Chrono Trigger, and I could picture a bunch of, merchandise and things like that. But, Chrono Trigger 3 or whatever they would call it now, God, what does that look like? And who makes that game now?
Yeah, I think, just, put out the definitive best version of Chrono Trigger everywhere. And with very little changes, just making it look as good as it possibly could as that game. And then, I don't know, slowly figure out what a follow-up to that could look like. Or make a new game in that style again. Just basically looking like a Super Nintendo game. I think that could be cool. I don't know if we need a sequel to Chrono Cross. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah. How do you feel about Chrono Cross?
I mean, it's fine, and it got remastered, so they took care of Chrono Cross. They even included the text-based Radical Dreamers, which was a Sotovia gig with it. So they done right by Chrono Cross already, about as right as anybody could ever have expected them to do with that one. So. In terms of what I think of that game, I liked it okay when I played it back in the day. I never finished it. There's certainly things about it I don't like. I don't like that it has a zillion characters, so none of them are really that important to the story, except for a handful of them anyway. So, it's no Chrono Trigger is the thing, right? And even that game is liked pretty well. So how close are you going to possibly get with the third one? Now, it's not a reason why you shouldn't try, right? Don't be a coward like me. Go ahead, try, see if you can live up to that legacy. Give some guy a shot. Give a team a shot. Let's do it. Why not? You bring back the Mana series every once in a while, and you make a mediocre one of those. People move on with their lives. It's okay.
Yeah,
so give it a go.
Yeah, in the end of the day, a mediocre Chrono Trigger follow-up would not ruin Chrono Trigger for anybody. So yeah. All right, Dr. Ryan is here to say the butterfly effect of me once reading the back of a PS2 poker game in 2006 to Mike Minotti becoming a known Maxim magazine owner is an amazing thought. So it's like back in 2006, he read this, and then one day, Mike Minotti buys an issue of Maxim magazine in 2025. Yeah, small domino to big domino.
It's funny. We're here now.
Willow Davis says, I live in New Jersey and have personally seen the Jersey Devil, and it smells bad. It lives in the Pine Barrens. Epic PS1 game, though. Is it Dib?
Is the Jersey Devils a shoot?
Yeah, Mike. Burrito says, just chiming in. Stop Making Sense is incredible. I like the Talking Heads, but that recording made me a fan. Lost count of how many times I've watched it in theaters and on DVD. Talking Heads is one of my favorite bands. I love it. As much as I'm not walking around thinking about music the way I think about games. I like music just to be there. Talking Heads is one of those bands I would my YouTube music. I feel like listening to music. Let's go to the Talking Heads. David Byrne's incredible.
I already was like, what is Talking Heads?
Fuck.
I was already like, what are we talking about?
Son of a bitch.
I was already like, what? What is this?
That does it for super chats. Let's just get this show over with.
A podcast.
I'm gonna go be sick again.
There, everybody. We're gonna take another break. We'll be right back, and we're gonna do something.
All right. I had no idea what this song finished.
It says you didn't even know it was David Byrne 10 minutes ago, Jeff, you poster. No, I just was thinking recently David Byrne's just done so much working with other people that I do think about David Byrne in his David Byrne era. But yes, Talking Heads obviously is banned.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, whatever it is, it's gonna happen.
I am good.
All right, we're back. All right, Jeff, it's time to play our game.
There's a game?
Yeah, well, there always is, isn't there?
I suppose there is. What are we doing?
That or mailbag. We did mailbag last week. We can't do that.
That's a good point. All right. Well, I didn't prepare anything. What do you got?
How about the Mount Rushmore of Mario games?
Oh, okay.
Where you play as Mario, but the word Mario is not in the title.
You just kept talking and came up with something. All right. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Great. I would like to nominate Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good one. All right. I'll
just write these down to keep track of. You don't have to open up a Word doc.
Okay.
I promise you this will be a shorter episode as you were feeling sicky.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I have a second recommendation.
Yeah, what's that?
Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah. Also just called Donkey Kong. And I think when we put out this list, we should not specify. It should just say Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong.
I agree. Yeah, well, it's just okay. I'm going to scratch out the part where I wrote 94 here. That's not the name of the game.
All right, so how far afield can we get with this? Like a game, you said where you play as Mario. You did say that, right?
Play as Mario, like not Punch Out because he's a referee.
Right.
No, not Punch Out.
Well, how about Yoshi's Island where you play as him for 5 minutes?
Well, somebody's going to be like, well, the game's called Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, so I guess we can't really do that one.
It does say it on one box in one territory. That's right.
Yes, right, and people just won't let that go. But how about Super Smash Brothers Melee?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that works for me. At least we should be considering it.
Yeah, you play as Mario in that game, and the word Mario is not in the title. A lot of the other words for Mario game names is in the title, like Smash or Super and Brothers.
Brothers, yeah, it's all of them except
we got those.
So maybe that's the most. Maybe that's the George Washington in some ways.
Maybe. Remember Alleyway?
I do remember Alleyway. Yeah.
Yeah, Alleyway's Breakout, but it was supposed to be Mario inside the tube, piloting it as depicted in the box art. So you are controlling Mario, who's controlling the tube in the Game Boy game Alleyway. Alleyway's not on NSO yet, is it? What the hell? Give me Alleyway.
What new Super Luigi U? That's just an expansion to.
Right, and I think you have to play as Luigi in it.
I think you can. Maybe can you not play as? I think in multiplayer you could play as Mario.
Oh, chat, help me out. Does that count, chat?
Yeah, that might. Again, sure. I am asking here. I'm throwing these out to ask because I don't know.
Chat brings up golf for the NES.
Oh, that's a good one. Golf. I like golf a lot. Yeah, okay.
That game is just called Golf, and yeah, that's clearly Mario you're playing as. No Mario and Luigi, I believe. So yeah, you play as Nabbit instead of Mario for player 2, apparently.
Really? Okay. Well, I do remember that.
What do you make of Wrecking Crew, Jeff?
I don't make much of it. I've maybe have emulated it once or twice. Not a game I think about very frequently. It's the kind of thing where it was like when they had overt big references to it in the movie, I was like, oh, that's neat. That's where that should happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like I like that it's referenced. I thought it was fun playing that weird Super Nintendo version that we never got when it was added to a thing, but otherwise. Oh, okay. So in the video game Yoshi's Cookie,
okay,
Yoshi is kind of controlling like maybe the X-axis,
yeah,
and Mario's controlling like the Y-axis. They're working together, but Mario is in fact controlling the play action in Yoshi's Cookie.
Okay,
to some degree,
we should consider it.
I think we should consider. Holy shit.
So let's just games where you play as Mario without Mario on the title. I think what's throwing me off is they need to still be Mario games. They don't need to be Mario games, right?
You just have to play as Mario.
Okay, all right.
In fact, here's one. NBA Street Volume 3.
This is exactly why I was asking. NBA Street Volume 3 is the thing that was in my head when I was talking, because I think that's what we said originally, but I think we were just like repeating ourselves a little bit through the explanation.
Yeah, NBA Street Volume 3. So there you go. That's good. Was SSX3 or one of the SSX on tour you can play as Mario?
Yeah, I'll find out which one it is.
Find out which one.
Which SSX can you play as Mario? Don't fail me, Google.
I'm worried it's not going to make it. It is SSX on tour.
On tour, yes.
I'm worried about its viability because that is very close to NBA Street, and I think about Street more.
Yeah, NBA Street. I mean, him playing basketball in NBA Street Volume 3 is maybe a little bit more iconic, I think.
I knew the answer to this question. Why is Volume 2 considered better than Volume 4 for NBA Street?
I think that the versus mode is just more refined. It's just it's more restrained and more focused on that actual back and forth, kind of feeling like a fighting game mentality. But Volume 3 is good. It's just they just did more of it, and that didn't feel quite as magical as 2 did.
Fortune Street.
Okay, I like this one. Fortune Street. Yeah. Is he just one of the pieces you play as?
He's one of the people you can play as. You can select all those characters to be your character from Dragon Quest or Nintendo in the beginning. And one of your choices is Mario.
Okay.
So that works. That's completely fair. Wow, that might... I'm surprised we came up with this many. Go ahead, though.
He does ride on Yoshi's back in Yoshi Safari.
Okay.
So he's controlling the gun that you're shooting.
Maybe. But how much do we like Yoshi Safari?
Now, it's not going to make this list.
It's not. I just don't think it's going to make it.
I enjoyed Yoshi Safari from the perspective of no one else has really played that game. I played it with a Super Scope on a black and white TV. And that's a weird way to play that game.
That is a very strange way. Jeff, I think we can start whittling the list down.
Okay, all right. Remind me and audio listeners what we have.
Here's what is up for consideration on the Mount Rushmore of games where you play as Mario, but the word Mario is not in the title. Donkey Kong. Super Smash Brothers Melee. Alleyway. Yoshi's Cookie. Golf. NBA Street Volume 3. SSX on Tour. Fortune Street.
All right.
I think Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong are locks.
They're locks. I want to throw this one by you. I feel like Super Smash Brothers is not in the spirit.
You can play as Sora in Super Smash Brothers games,
Right. You could play as anybody. So I don't know. I think I would like to see maybe Golf and NBA Street Volume 3, but if you want something else other than Golf, I'm open to it. I mean, if you want to put Smash Brothers on there instead of Golf, I would be okay.
I already scratched it out.
Okay.
You've convinced me.
Okay.
My concern is that
people are saying NES Remix and NES World Championships. I also think those aren't the spirit because they're like...
That's not exactly the spirit. You're technically right. Right. There's a part of me, Jeff, that's like, that's 2 sports games, Golf and NBA Street Volume 3, but it also sounds right.
Yeah. I mean, he's played a lot of sports, and most of them have Mario in the name, so the fact that these ones don't does kind of help.
Let's lock NBA Street Volume 3, of course.
So I'm sure I want to address these in chat as well. There is Dance Dance Revolution, but it's called Mario Mix, I believe.
It's called Mario Mix.
And then Picross is Mario's Picross, and you're not really playing as Mario.
No, right. That one, Mount Rushmore of games of Mario in the title where you don't play as Mario.
That's a different show, everybody.
Wario Land.
Yep.
That's next week.
2 sports games is too much for Mitch, but 2 Donkey Kong is just right.
I wish there was
from
a
Chun
third game called
2D2.
Donkey Kong.
Oh man.
Oh, that's pretty funny. It occurred to me. Well, look, I just want to make sure because we have Donkey Kong, NBA Street Volume 3. Like, how do you feel about Alleyway? Do you even know you're playing as Mario? Really, if you're not staring at the box art?
I don't really think about it. No, I don't I don't think about the fact I'm playing as Mario.
Do you like Yoshi's Cookie?
No.
I'd rather play Yoshi than Yoshi's Cookie.
Yeah, I definitely got Yoshi's Cookie for Game Boy, was it? And I was not happy with it.
Nintendo suddenly made a lot of mediocre puzzle games right at the same time. You had Yoshi's Cookie, and Wario's Bombs, Wario's Woods,
and then there was a Wario crossover with Bomberman, Wario Blast. I think
that was probably better.
Yeah, that was better. But it was there were some puzzle game elements in that even. Yeah, it was trying to chase the Tetris trend. They're like, hey, we have this whole new audience in Game Boy. We have to serve up stuff to those kinds of people.
I think SSX on Tour is just too similar to what NBA Street is doing, but better.
Yeah.
Fortune Street. I like Fortune Street. A lot of people get mad about Fortune Street, though.
Are you saying me?
No, not you. Other people. Sean, remember how much Sean didn't like Fortune Street?
Oh, right.
Imagine if we talk about Fortune Street again. What would Sean do?
He would hurt us. I'm scared of Sean.
So let's be safe and not do Fortune Street. So, yeah, okay. I think golf, NBA Street Volume 3, Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong is the final list.
I like when we just are just trying to pop ourselves with stuff like Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong. That's when the show's at its best. So like, yeah, that's dumb as fuck. Let's do it.
There you go. All right. So to finalize it, the Mount Rushmore of video games where you play as Mario, but the word Mario is not in the title is Donkey Kong, Golf, NBA Street Volume 3.
All right. I'll get this posted. Fantastic work, Mike. Once again, that's good stuff.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're going to take one more break, everybody. Just going to skeet that out so people can praise us for our good decisions. We'll be back. We'll talk a bit about what we've been playing, reading more super chats, and wrap things up.
Break. All right.
I'm glad people in chat still reference the waifu episode.
The fabled waifu episode.
just a big mistake.
I should go back and search that and delete it from the
really internet. A turning point for this entire thing we got going here.
That was not good.
All right, I am posting it.
We need part 2. What do you mean we need part 2?
Yeah, updates. Who's your waifu now? There have been some new waifus.
Yeah, there's been some waifu developments for sure.
Waifu developments, of course.
This thing's gonna cut it off. Why Blue Sky's batted in?
Well, technically, it was waifu and husbandos.
Yeah, it was. We did do both. Yeah,
there were some husbandos.
People got hung up on the waifus for some reason.
Sam, people focused on the waifus, believe it or not.
All right, I'm good.
All right.
All right.
All right, Jeff. We're back. Have you been playing anything Nintendo-y lately?
Not much. I would like getting sick and being busy with stuff. I haven't had much time to play a lot of stuff. I mean, I did play Fester's Quest again. It's this time I tried to do it without save states, and I was like, maybe I do like this game, and then I realized I don't like the game. So it is a bad game.
Wow.
Yeah, it is bad, and so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, like I am just excited about that, Mike. I'm glad your NES is working. I'm glad tomorrow's Wednesday. That's where I'm at with Nintendo stuff right now.
Yeah, very exciting. I really have played a ton of Mario's Picross and Donkey Kong 94. Just those games are both very short level based, right? Yeah. So it's very easy to play a couple of levels on the one game, then go to the other one. And normally I'm not much of a go back and forth. But these two games, that style of play works very well. I played Donkey Kong 94 a bunch before. Still, I'm just playing through the entire thing again because it's so much fun. And I'm glad that I finally understand Picross and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah,
that was great to see. It's always like a sicko staring through the window yelling yes to watch someone else learn how to play Picross. That's always very satisfying. And even with Donkey Kong, Lexi was like, oh my God, Jeff Grubb was right about Donkey Kong 94. I'm like, yeah, that's one I feel very confident if people go to play that game today, they're going to be like, oh, this is an amazing game.
Oh, it's so freaking good. It just feels so good to play. I think it's absolutely the best Game Boy game. But boy, that Picross. I don't know why I didn't get it before. I swear I would just also watch the in-game tutorials, and for some reason I would not absorb the knowledge.
Yeah, it happens.
And this time I did, and I was like, oh, I get it. And then I was, you begin to learn all the little tricks, like, well, if there's 9 in a row, then I can at least fill in the middle 3. I know those have to be filled in, and then it's like those tricks begin to build on themselves to the point where it's like you like I said this last time we talked about it. But you begin to make inferences based on inferences, and then you are like a couple steps ahead, and so the puzzles can get very difficult and they become very satisfying. And then go play Picross 3D, and it's like that stuff amplifies it even more. All right, Jeff, you want to read the rest of the super chats? Yeah, I'll just say I haven't been playing on the Switch, but it is on the Switch. Goat Simulator 3 a lot with the kids. Okay. That's a fun time. It's just a complete playground, complete sandbox, and it is so chock full of stuff that they can spend one entire night
in one area doing one thing, and then I'll come back. They'll go home from school. We'll finish up some stuff. We'll get some homework done, and then they'll sit down and play. And it's like they're doing something completely different the next night, or they're doing something completely different, and also trying to put that stuff in the house that they've claimed as their own. It's a pretty cool game for kids and a fun one to have on the TV because they're always doing something kind of hilarious in there. So, yeah, recommendation from this family at the very least.
No, I think my nephews and nieces have gotten into that game too. It is just a great game for kids because they do just get to run around. I mean, that's why they made that Patrick Star game, just basically a goat simulator, right?
Absolutely, and it has a similar kind of map even. So yes, and I think that was a great idea. That game is a ton of fun as well. Okay, let's see here. You said you were going to do something else, and I interrupted you. Let's go back to that.
No, I said you should read the super chat.
Oh, okay. Well, fantastic. I think we got a couple more of those in here. I think we left off with Epic Open World, who said, "Did I misunderstand Mike, or does he not know about the band 311? Mike, did you not listen to the radio?"
I listened to some of the radio. I mean, when I was a kid,
yeah,
I was like, I did not drive for a long time. I didn't drive till I was 19 was when I got my license. So my mom listened to the oldie station constantly. And then when my brothers showed me around, they had very specific music tastes via CD. My one brother was a lot of Pink Floyd. So I know a lot about Pink Floyd, despite only kind of liking Pink Floyd. But don't know anything about 311, I'm afraid. I did not listen to Radio Disney, really. I don't think we had Radio Disney. That was like... Sounds like a fan. I don't think you just got that on the car radio, or it wasn't broadcast here anyways. It was probably broadcast in the cities.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. I'm like, was that something that was ever on terrestrial radio? I mean, I know they have it on like Sirius XM, I think.
Yeah, but it was out before like the days of satellite
radio. I know.
Radios.
That's why I was like confused. Yeah.
Yeah, I was only ever aware of Radio Disney because they would talk about it a lot on the Disney Channel and at Disney World. But I was like, what is Radio Disney? I assume it's a radio station.
Was it like a real media player thing? Could I stream it over my 56K modem?
I don't know. I bet at some point there was, but I don't know. Maybe. I bet it was just broadcast in certain areas, like an ESPN radio situation.
Oh, sure.
But, somebody had to like license it or whatever for that area.
Let's see here. El Grug says, stealing this from Kit and Krista, but rank the decades of Mario platformers. 85 to 94, 95 to 2004, 2005 to 2014, and 2015 to 2024. Panes for Game Mess Hall of Fame.
Oh, gosh. This would be easier if it was just 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Right. So 85 to 94 would be basically all the 2D games up through the Super Nintendo.
Yes, that's pretty good.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, that's right. Then 95 to 2004 would be a lot of the 3D Mario games, the early 3D Marios.
Well, that would just be, honestly, just Mario 64.
And Sunshine.
Sunshine, and maybe new Super Mario DS, right?
Right.
Because there weren't a ton of Mario, like mainline Mario games releasing at that time.
And then 2005 to 2014 would be a lot of new Super Mario Brothers games. And
a lot of new Super Mario Brothers games, but also both Galaxy games.
Both Galaxy games, yes.
3D World and 3D Land.
Generally, right. And then if anyone wants to correct us, they could put it in chat. And then 2015 to 2024 would be clearly Super Mario Odyssey and Wonder
and Bowser's Fury.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good shit.
That's pretty freaking good. So, gosh, I don't know. It's hard not to put that original run at first, right?
Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, I think I might be. Well, God, it is so iconic. So yeah, probably 85 to 94, 2015 to 2024, 95 to 2004, 2005 to 2014.
God, the one on the bottom is one with both Galaxy games, though. But you're right. I guess there are some new Super Mario Bros. Games. It's just all very good. It's all very good.
In all the decades except for the first one, there are great 3D Mario games. Sure, Galaxy definitely should be argued as some of the best. And in fact, there's two of those. It's really powerful. But I mean, Bowser's Fury and Odyssey.
It's insane.
Yeah,
and Wonder, like the best 2D Mario game since World. Yep. So, yeah, crazy.
Fox McCloud server says, can we please have Mike do a Mega Man roulette? And yes, I will. Here's what we'll do. I will set one up as a zip file and just send it to him, and he'll open it up. Kind of like how that's how Arcade Pit worked. Arcade Pit just had a zip file with all the stuff, and you would unpack it, click on the one BizHawk, and you would just go into it, and all the stuff would be there. I will get that set up, and we'll do that on a Grubb's Gimmicks here when he's got some time in the next couple of weeks.
That'd be super fun.
I would really like to see that. Okay, Mike, that does it for the Super Chats. Back over to you.
All right, fantastic. Then that's a show. We did it. But yes, tomorrow, Blight Club, my first time playing Fester's Quest. First time since I was a child, anyways. I'm going to be dressing up as Uncle Fester. Not necessarily for the first time, right? That first time I tried to be Quan Chi, that was basically the look I had. It's funny how, like, I'm like, well, at least this is, just the white makeup. With Quan Chi, I had to, like, do the eyeshadow and the lines and the symbol on my forehead and all that other shit. So, whatever. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Maybe, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it in one episode. I don't know if I'll get it in 2 episodes. I don't know what to expect. I don't want to... my first inclination was to try to find the bright side and to try to enjoy the game no matter what, Jeff. But then, like, you and especially Dan will be like, well, he's having fun. I got to make his next game really miserable. So,
well, I mean, you got to keep in mind,
to be clear how much
he's unilateral. He also, I think he said he's already picked our games or has a good idea what he wants to pick for his unilateral decision. He's
That's
up next.
Concerning, right?
And he's going to pick the worst shit. No matter, he's going to do stuff because he doesn't want to play his game, right? So, and we're both before him. So he's going to pick something miserable for both of us.
There's like a good chance I'm going to get a Sonic game that he's worried about having to play, huh? Like I'm going to get Sonic and the Black Knight or something.
I won't be shocked if I get Daikatana 64. Don't laugh, because that just makes it more likely, because it's very funny.
It's that would be pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's good. That's good. All right. But yeah, so that's tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. Is tomorrow the first episode of Game Breaking News? It's
either tomorrow or Thursday. I think Thursday is what we were aiming for.
Thursday, cool.
Tomorrow's
the last episode of Game Mess Mornings ever. Then.
Yeah, come watch the series finale of Game Mess Mornings, everybody.
The name's just changing, everyone. It's gonna be fine.
That's right. It's gonna be the same feed. Don't worry, nothing's really changing.
Nope. So, all right, that's fun. That's good. You got all that power block stuff happening at Giant Bomb that you guys have been talking about, which again, for Giant Bomb, it's basically the same shows, plus some new content that has already been going. I've all seen GB Kids, Rikers Roulette, Grubb Gimmicks, and then there's some stuff that the GameSpot crew is working on. Also, Tam and Lucy are playing through Split Fiction right now. That's fun. So there's just a lot more content. It's just the whole idea is that Giant Bomb and GameSpot are coming together to make a block of a day's worth of content during the workday that people can tune into. Perhaps like similar other content creators and streaming platforms out there, right?
That's right.
So good stuff. Exciting. You guys put a lot of work into that. I've been enjoying it. But this has been the last of the Nintendogs.
Sorry. It was not playing for the audience. So there we go.
I was scared. I was like, oh no, we're stuck in this podcast forever.
I wasn't paying attention to the podcast. You read the B. Diddy?
B. Diddy says, thanks for mentioning Final Fantasy 13. Been sick with COVID, trying to decide on something to play. Just downloaded it onto my Steam Deck. Gonna be a blast. Yeah, that'd be a good way to play that.
Hope you feel better, B. Diddy. Yeah, God. It's a good game. I enjoyed it back then. I'm not going to play the sequels until maybe they do a remaster of them, and maybe even then, who knows? You know how I am about the direct sequels. I haven't played 10-2 yet, and I'm like, I consider myself a big Final Fantasy guy. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that and stop being a freaking phony.
Well, I hope you feel a bit better as well, B. Diddy, and then I hope Mike one day gets to play 10-2. Those are my 2 wishes. Bye, everybody.
I wish for more wishes. I wish for the collapse of the government.
Well,
you didn't see my new Anarchy Mike character.
I saw the reference, just saying that. That's all you said. I'm like, well, I bet there's a story behind that.
That's the character.
Sending the podcast.
I have to poop.